Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Sister Buzz podcast.
Today, we're diving into unpopular opinions, the truth behind making new friends, and some sisterly relationship advice.
As always, we're going to jump into our life recaps first. So, Brooklyn, since I couldn't get in touch with you at all yesterday, update us on what's going on in your life.
First of all, we usually film on a Monday. And Madison was MIA all day yesterday, so I don't want to hear your shit. Second of all, it is buku early in the morning on a Tuesday. I can barely function because I'm not a morning person. So if I sound like the biggest bitch, I apologize. What did I do this weekend?
I think you had a crawfish boil or something, right?
Oh, yeah, we did that.
Didn't you do a crawfish boil at Mom and Dad's house?
Yeah, with Raymond's family. They came over and we did that. I feel like I did something else. I really don't even know. My life is so... I'm still sleeping, honestly. What did you do this weekend?
So Dylan left on Tuesday for the college conference tournament. So pretty much from Tuesday until Sunday, I was alone, and that comes with some good and some bad. I was able to catch up on like all my schoolwork, all of my work stuff, all of my influencing stuff. I was able to get some modeling photo shoots scheduled. So I was really able to get my life together for once. But unfortunately, Dylan and his team came up short in the finals. So they placed second in the conference tournament. And now he's back home and tennis is over for the season for him. So, I mean, we're just kind of relaxing now.
Okay, I know what I did this weekend. And Raymond's probably going to be mad at me. But Friday, Raymond surprised me with a secret date night. I can't believe I forgot at this point. So Friday he was like, I called Faylee. I got her come in, watch the kids. We're gonna go on a date night, which has not happened since probably before Rowan was born. Probably the night Rowan was conceived, to be honest, at this point. So,
Brooklyn Nicole.
I'm serious. I mean, I haven't been on a date in a long time. Probably also why I haven't had another
I thought Rowan was conceived in the back of your car.
In the back of my car?
Oh
no.
my goodness, Brooklyn.
The back of my car?
Yes, I remember. I think. No, I remember. Okay. I think I said something. I was like,
stop the presses.
I
was not conceived in the back of my car. No one was
I think I said like
in the back of my
Brooklyn,
car.
You're doing the dirty in Mom and Dad's house, and then you were like, no, Madison. He was conceived in the car. But
First
I think
of
it was
all,
just a joke.
Mom and Dad listen to this, so let's rein it in. Second of all, no one was conceived in the back of my car. Third of all, let me get back to what I'm saying because I already forgot once. I'm gonna forget again. Shit. So anyway, so he took me to New Orleans and we went to my favorite restaurant, which was nice because I haven't been there in a long time. And then we went to the Pelicans playoff 3 game where unfortunately we lost, but it was such a good game. It was like down to the wire. And then we got back super late because it started at 9:00 at night. So, Grandma and Grandpa were exhausted driving back. And then I had to be up at the butt crack of dawn for Holden's soccer game on Saturday where he scored his first goal. And I forgot about that until just now. Go Holden, go.
He's taken after his Nene. Guys,
also, you owe him money.
I do. Okay, I do have a deal with Holden. So whenever I was playing high school soccer, college soccer, my dad used to be like, oh, for every single goal you score, I'll give you money. So of course I had to continue on with that tradition, but I'll post a video of him scoring a goal on our Instagram because if you guys see his celebration, it is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
His swag needs no help. He's got it down. That boy is a whole hot damn mess.
He is the cheesiest little boy ever. But another thing that you completely forgot that you did this weekend because you posted about it on Instagram is you took him to Pepper's for a surprise, which Pepper's is a pizzeria that we have in our hometown that closed down due to Hurricane Ida, and we love it, but Holden loves it more than all of us.
So yes, I did forget about that. I'm telling you, I'm having like amnesia today. Fuck. Anyway, so Faylee called me and she was like, I think Pepper's is open. And I was like, shut up. Because literally every day we pass there, Holden's like, Ma, is Pepper's open? Can we go eat Pepper's? I'm ready for Pepper's. I'm like, dude, it's closed. Like, sorry, it's closed. It's closed. Well, so I said, are you joking? Like, Faylee, is this real? And she's like, I'm going to text who I saw go to Pepper's and I'm going to ask them, like, what's up? So she texted that person and they were like, oh, it's like a soft opening training thing. So if you go to the link that I'm going to send you, you just sign up and then they'll give you like a reservation. So Faylee was like, I'm going to do the reservation for all of us for Saturday. And I was like, cool, I'll surprise Holden. So we get there. It's 6 of us. And let me tell you, it was so good. It was like home in my mouth. Okay. Everything was like on point. And our whole meal was free because it was like a training thing. And so like they comped the entire meal because they're just training their staff or whatever. And shout out to Brennan, who said he was going to listen to this. So Brennan, if you're listening, you're an excellent server. You're wonderful as always. I was happy to see your face. I don't know you in real life. I just know you from serving me at Pepper's, and you were A1 from day one. Thank you.
Well, he is an HL alumni, or maybe he still goes to HL. I don't know. I know him from there. Not know him, but I know of him. And I've always heard really, really good things about him. So whenever I saw you post a photo of him on Instagram, I'm like, oh, he's so cute. And Mom said that he's
the sweetest
literally
thing.
one of the best servers
so
that you guys have ever had. All right, guys. So for today's first topic, we're going to dive straight into our unpopular opinions.
I feel like I'm going to get hated on for this because like some of mine are like, I feel like everyone's going to think I'm wrong.
I made a list of my unpopular opinions and now I can't find it.
Way to go, Maddie. You suck at life.
Can't stand her.
Oh, I can't stand you today. Why can't I stand Maddie? Because she can't find her unpopular opinions. That concludes why I can't stand her today.
I got it. Okay.
Please don't sing.
All right, take it away, Brooklyn. Take it away.
Don't make me go first. Okay. Beyonce's overrated.
I don't agree, but I don't disagree. I love Beyonce, and I think that she is one of, like, the more talented artists. I mean, I think everything about her, she's beautiful, she's a performer, she's a great voice. I mean, honestly, Beyonce is everything. But I do understand how sometimes she's a little overhyped, but that's just a personal opinion.
Okay, and I will say, I'm not saying Beyonce is not talented. Like, Beyonce is clearly talented. I mean, no one is ever going to say that Beyonce is not talented. I'm just saying, I don't subscribe to the Beehive. That's just, I love some of her music, and like some of it, I'm like, I could like take it or leave it. I think the problem is that I worship by the gospel of Celine Dion, and no one can ever like live up to a vocalist that is Celine
Disgusting.
Dion. Okay, see, this is my life. Celine Dion is the one. Okay, she is my everything.
Unpopular opinion, Celine Dion is overrated.
You shut your damn mouth, you whore.
Okay. My first unpopular opinion is mashed potatoes, baked potatoes are disgusting.
I think it's because I know you as a person and it's a texture thing for you. Mashed potatoes are like lovely little dollops of heaven, but I know that you can't handle texture, so I understand where you're coming from. I think you're just, you shouldn't count something out because just because of texture, but that's whatever.
It's fucking baby food, Brooklyn.
It's delicious baby food. Raymond still eats bananas out of a jar from the baby aisle, so I mean, mashed potatoes are a step up.
Oh my goodness.
He would literally steal the kids' bananas. Where's Holden's bananas? Oh, that was for Holden? I ate those. Bruh, it says baby on the jar. What is happening? Anyway, I guess I'm going to stick with my music and go with Taylor Swift is underrated. I feel like she...
Agreed. Completely.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think that Taylor Swift is like the world's greatest vocalist. Again, that's not what I'm saying. But I think people don't give her enough credit for the work she puts into her music. She plays instruments. She writes everything. She literally, I mean, the 10-minute Jake Gyllenhaal song is like a testament of the fact that the girl can just sit there and like somehow all these things just come out of her head. And like, that's talent. I'm sorry. People hate on T Swift and I love her.
She is very talented. I will definitely say that. My second unpopular opinion is being late to something is not a personality trait. I think it's rude. I just feel like sometimes it comes off as you don't value other people's time.
No, I 100% agree. This year will be 15 years that Raymond and I have been together. That's a long time. And we have had this fight like consistently.
That's a little too long for my liking.
I know. It's a little too long for my liking. But anyway, his family as a whole is habitually late. I love them to death, but it's not who I am. And so when I've expressed in the past, like, this is frustrating to me, he's like, well, you have to understand it's just built into who they are. And I'm like, to me, that's not an excuse. You are giving no respect to my time and my effort. And the fact that I got up 30 minutes early to make sure I was here on time and I respected your time. And I get some people, struggle with it. I'm not saying I don't understand that, because there are people that struggle with all kinds of things and time just happens to be one of them for some people. But you would think after a while...
time management is tough to figure out.
Right. Like for the Crawfish Bowl Sunday, not that it mattered because we weren't on any sort of like legit time limit. It was just like we were cooking just to enjoy the day. But my sister-in-law, Tiffany, showed up 2.5 hours late. Well, by the time she got there was no food. Raymond literally had to put food aside for her. Like, that to me, now I didn't care. It wasn't like, I wouldn't say that day it was like quote unquote rude to me or my time, because it didn't stop me from doing the things I was doing that day. I still ate. I still went on with my day. But at the same time, it's like 2.5 hours. That's not late. That's like a whole different realm of, issues. That's way past late.
Yeah. And I just feel like if someone lets you know, like, hey, I'm going to be running a few hours late or a few minutes late or whatever, like, it's fine. Especially here in New York, like, time, people are just late to everything. That's just how it goes. But then on the other hand, like restaurants, they only allow a 15-minute grace period. So it's like you have to make sure that you're arriving early to things, because if you arrive late, you only have 15 minutes. But I just think a lot of people use it as a personality trait, and some situations are forgiving, but overall, I think it's just kind of rude.
No, I agree. I hate being late. So my next unpopular opinion is for Kimma, because she hates this about me. I would rather drive in silence than with music playing some days.
Oh, trust me, I know. It drives me absolutely fucking crazy when I'm going with my sister somewhere and it's just silence and no one is saying anything, and I haven't seen her in person in God knows how long, and she's just fucking driving in silence.
But you have to realize my whole life is just go, 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 talk, talk, talk. I wake up and I have a kid talking to me, and I'm driving to school and I have kids talking to me, and, they're asking me for things, and they're this and they're that. And when everyone's in the car, whether I'm by myself or I'm not, and it's silent, it's like, no one is talking to me. How beautiful.
See, I get it when you're by yourself, like whenever you have a really good workout at the gym, it's like such a good time to reflect on how good your workout was in the car on the way home. I get it when you're by yourself, you're driving alone, but when other people are in your car, Brooklyn, I'm like, oh my God, kill me now. When are we going to get to the destination? I can't listen to her breathe anymore.
But then I put on Janet Jackson and you huffy puffy about that too, bitch. I can't always make you happy. This isn't the Madison show.
Should be. Just kidding. My next unpopular opinion is New Girl is better than The Office.
Oh my God, my next unpopular opinion was The Office sucks. I 100% stand that New Girl is better than The Office. The Office is terrible to me. I don't understand.
If you guys have not seen New Girl and you're a fan of The Office, please take my word for it and go watch it. This is not an exaggeration when I say, like, that's my comfort show. I've probably seen it over 10 times. And for all of you, like, male listeners, Dylan hated on it so much. He's like, I'm not watching the show. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. His teammate did too. Both of them watched it and loved it. New Girl is superior.
How can you not love Schmidt, Nick, and Winston? I mean, they are the bee's knees. Okay. There's no reason to make your bed every morning. You're just going to get back in that bitch later in the day. What is the point? Mom, that one was for you.
I disagree. I so disagree. I feel like, and this is more so since I've moved out of my parents' house and now currently live with someone who likes clean things. Like, if the dishes aren't done when Dylan walks into the house, like if like he sees dirty dishes, he feels like the whole house is dirty. So with that being said, I've gotten more in the habit of picking up after myself, and that includes like when I get out of bed in the morning making it, because one, I don't feel like I want to get back into bed once I make it, and two, I just feel like once my bed's made, my whole life is together for the day.
Well, that shit ain't for me, bro, because maybe I need to live with Dylan and learn to pick up after myself or something, because I ain't making no bed. All right, I ain't got the time, I ain't got the energy, I ain't got the focus. I don't care if it's just pulling the cover back. I ain't got it. It ain't happening. No. Mm-mm.
All right. My next unpopular opinion is that spicier food is better. The spicier the food is, the better it tastes.
I'm going to go with a medium on that. Okay. Some food, if you eating like real like Indian food and stuff, like it's way too spicy. If you're not prepared, at some point, it don't have flavor no more. It just has fire. But I do agree that food that is spicier tends to be better than food. Okay, let me go back to my culinary degree right now. I think that well-seasoned food has better flavor because you're using the seasonings to enhance your flavor palette. So when people say spicy, sometimes I think they really mean flavor and seasoning, because salt and pepper ain't going to cut it.
No, I mean like Tony Chachere's on everything.
Tony Chachere's is life, for sure. All right. Wendy's nuggets is better than McDonald's nuggets.
Oh, hands down. Absolutely.
But I will say McDonald's fries are better than Wendy fries. Like, can I hand pick what I get from fast food places? Because like, I want your fries and your nuggets and your this and your that. Because everybody got trash on different levels.
Wendy's is 100% the best fast food restaurant. Like, I don't care what anyone has to say. Right now, they
I'm probably not going to go with that. I mean,
for 50 nuggets for $10.
I'm sorry, but the Lord's chicken is my chicken. I will die on the hill of Chick-fil-A.
I get over Chick-fil-A really, really quickly. I normally get salads from there, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm so over it right now.
Everything is good there. I get a Southwest salad. I get a deluxe sandwich. I get 12 nuggets. I get a cool wrap. If I'm there in the morning, I get chicken minis. The Lord's chicken be my chicken, bruh. With a sweet tea. All right?
Okay, I guess we can agree to disagree.
But Wendy nuggets are better.
Is that, yes, Wendy nuggets are absolutely better. Justin Bieber is just as hot now as he was when he was 16 years old.
Okay. I'm going to struggle with this one because when he was 16 years old, I was like 25, and that was like pedophilia if I thought that. So in my eyes, Justin Bieber will always look like a 12-year-old and be a 12-year-old, and I don't find sex appeal for Justin Bieber on any level because it's too icky for me.
I think that he is very attractive.
Well, good for you. I mean, I still think Justin Timberlake is attractive, and I've thought that since I was like 12, so, you know.
Why is it that every single time I try to picture Justin Timberlake in my head, I think of Mr. Shu from Glee?
Ew, no.
I don't know why, but I cannot picture Justin Timberlake in my head. I can only picture him.
That's a tragedy because I can close my eyes and see him all day. All right, all pumpkin things are trash. Pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice latte. If it has
Agreed.
pumpkin in it, it's trash. Those famous sugar cookies from the
100%
grocery
agree.
store that everyone thinks is like lovely. Yeah, that's pure sugar. It's disgusting. No one thinks that's cute. Mom, she eats that shit like it's crack. It ain't cute. I don't know who eats that.
Yeah, not a fan either. Agree.
Winter and fall are better than spring and summer. Okay? I don't need a tan. I don't need the beach. I don't need none of that. What I need is a coffee.
That's because you
and
can't
a
tan
scarf.
Brooklyn.
Fuck off, Maddie. It's not my fault I was born with the least amount of melanin in the world.
I love spring and I love summer. Those are my two favorite seasons ever. And then it just so happens that I'm doing a double winter this year. So over Christmas, we went to Italy. We're about to go to Australia. And then when we come back from Australia, we'll be doing winter. We'll fall and winter in New York.
See, I would love that. You know how they say, like, birds fly south for the winter? Brooklyn wants to just fly north for the winter. She just wants to live in the winter.
Oh my God.
365. Give me a scarf, give me some boots, a pea coat, you know, a beanie. I'm living my best. Wild animals have the right to maul the fuck out of humans if they're in their environment. If you think you can go in the woods and touch a bear, you deserve to get your ass eaten. I'm just saying.
I so agree. I agree with like also horses and cows. Like if you're fucking with the horse and it's little fucking fence or whatever and you get bucked, well, that's your bad, honey.
Like, I can't stand when an animal does something to someone and they immediately euthanize the animal. What the fuck did you think Larry the Lion was gonna do? Smile? No, he ate your ass. Why? Because you came in his environment. That's not his fault. That's your stupidity. What is happening in this world? When the person on Joe Exotic lost their arm, yeah, because you were fucking with tigers, bruh. Did you think you were going to be all four limbs were going to come out of there safely all the time? No, it should be a given. You're going to lose a limb at some point. You're fucking with tigers. Hello? What is happening? And lastly, condiments are trash. Ketchup, disgusting. Mustard, disgusting. Mayo, disgusting. Barbecue sauce, disgusting. Tartar sauce, disgusting. Pickles, disgusting. The only condiments I find acceptable in this world are ranch and sour cream. All other condiments are trash. They're just trash. If you want to slather your food in disgusting sauces, then learn how to cook with flavor so you don't need them. That is all I have to say about that.
I'm actually very interested to see what our like listeners have to say about all of these. So we're going to put up polls on our Instagram when this goes live, and you can vote whether you agree with our unpopular opinions or whether you disagree. But in regards to Brooklyn's condiment, whatever, I somewhat agree. I'm not a big sauce person. I am faithful to ketchup though, and I like pickles by themselves, not with other things. But my last unpopular opinion is college is too romanticized. And I think that's because people, like, obviously with online schooling, it's becoming more,
Normalized
yeah,
online.
normalized. Okay, yeah, I guess it is normal. But I feel like college is too romanticized, and people are always like, "Oh, college is supposed to be the best years of your life." But why is that? Why is it supposed to be the best years of your life?
I
You
think
have the
that
whole rest of your life to spend.
I think that college is what you make it. I think it's supposed to be considered the best years of your life because it's the first years that you aren't living, quote unquote, under your parents, which for the people that stay home and go to college, that doesn't really happen. And then it's the years before you gain work responsibilities and spouse responsibilities and parental responsibilities. It's really those years between when you're a dependent of your parents and then someone is a dependent of you. And so it's the only years where really you only have to do the things that make you happy and think about yourself. I mean, I graduated at 21 and I was married at 23. You know, I went from my parents' house at 17 to thinking about myself to then thinking about, my husband. So it's really, and my first year of college wasn't that great. I didn't have the best experience because I didn't know how to put myself out there and like go and do the things I was supposed to do. And once I realized kind of how to make friends and how to branch out and be in this new space, then I was able to make the best of my college experience.
I just feel like college is like too romanticized because, like, for example, I played college soccer my first year of college and had the time of my life. I met Dylan. I made all kind of new friends, thankfully, because I was in an environment with a team that I spent every single day with 3 times a day. So I was kind of forced into stepping out of my comfort zone and making all new friends. And I'm very grateful for my first year of college that I got that experience. But I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a big partier. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy doing those things occasionally. But I feel like I'm so much happier here in New York taking active steps towards a better future and a better career while just doing college online. And then a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, don't you feel like you're missing out because your college is online?" And I don't think that at all, because instead of partying and going out every single night, I'm studying, I'm making money, I'm building a career for myself. I'm making relationships with different people here that are also in my field in the realm of things. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like people put too much emphasis, like, "Oh, you need to go to college, you need to party, you need to do this. It's the best years of your life." But if I work really, really hard now and I set myself up for success, then best years of my life should continue on. It shouldn't just be the 4 years that I'm in college. You know what I mean?
I think that I think that people think that because of their own experiences. And I think that you're in a unique situation because most people who do online schooling don't do it in a different city. Most people are like, I can't afford college. I'm going to sit in my parents' living room and do online college because that's the situation I can have currently. And so for them, it's probably not the best because they don't have the option to go out and make different connections in a different city. And you are really utilizing online schooling to the best of your ability. You're really taking that opportunity and making it work wonderfully for you. Whereas in a lot of people, most people's situations, that wouldn't really be the case for them. And like I said, I think it just goes back to responsibilities and you know you're not really a child anymore in these years, but you're not truthfully, you're really not an adult yet. You haven't matured to that adult level. So it's all these years where you get to find yourself. You know, yes, I'm never going to say college was the best years of my life because I feel like the best years of my life are my children and like having my children and watching my children grow and some of those times. But I feel like
And that's what I'm
college,
saying. Like, people don't talk so much about what your later years consist of. And I think that that's why people are, I don't want to necessarily say afraid to do online schooling, but if you're like, I feel like people say if you're going to go to college, then you might as well go in person because it's going to be the time of your lives, and stay instead of saying,
but I think it's the
well, if
social
online schooling
aspect.
saves you a little bit of money, you can go somewhere else.
But
Oh, for sure. For sure.
but I really just think it's the social aspect. And also going back to you're saying the online schooling saves you money. Yes. And now online schooling is a way different ball game than what it used to be. So online schooling used to kind of have this bad stigma around it, like it wasn't a real college degree, you know, you didn't get nothing out of it. It was just a piece of paper, blah 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 blah. But now that universities have gone to online schooling, Nichols, LSU, all these actual name universities have gone into online schooling. Now it's a different, oh, you can go online and get a quote unquote real college degree, not like University of Phoenix, which people have looked down on in the past and said, oh, well, that's not really college. That's not really a degree. Well, I don't know what kind of education those people got. I'm not here to say that it is or it isn't. I have no idea. But if they learn something, if that helped them progress in their life, then, why are we talking down on that? I think everybody just needs to stay in their lane and realize that some people thrive in different environments. I'm a social person. I hated online classes. Anytime there's an online class, it drove me because I like to meet people. I like to have study groups. I like to learn in class. I'm a very visual learner, like I see it on the board, I hear it in person, I study it, I remember it. That's who I am. So for some people to romanticize an online degree is hard to them to understand that because it's like, I want to be in class. I want to learn in person. I want to be there. Whereas some people who aren't very social and have maybe anxiety or whatever and don't thrive in those settings, an online degree is wonderful for them and they shouldn't be forced toward the traditional classroom route. But it's really learning about who you are as a person and being honest with yourself about what is going to be best for your future and your education.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that whether you choose to go to college or you choose not to go to college, I don't think that one is better than the other. I mean, just like what Brooklyn said, it's about being honest with yourself and really just trying to figure out what's best for you and how to set the rest of your life up. And I will say it is difficult in some ways because I am a very social person. I love people. I love talking. I love being in social environments. And it's not really easy to make new friends when you're doing online school and you move to a new city. It's the first time in, I mean, your whole life, whenever people do online, that they're not, unless they were homeschooled, that they're not in a university or in a school where they're seeing different people each and every day. And it is difficult. It takes a lot of courage to make friends whenever you're not used to seeing like your peers every single day.
No, I mean, that's kind of in all situations in life. Like I said, I struggled my first year at LSU. I didn't really know how to make friends because in high school, I'd always been involved in things, dance team, student council, this, that, and the other. That kind of gives you some built in friends because all the people that overlap in all these groups, you just gravitate to them because y'all are doing all the same things. Well, in college, it's rare to find, especially your first year when you're doing all your gen ed type classes, it's really rare to find a person who's in multiple classes. You're lucky if you see the same person more than once. And so my first year, I didn't do any sorority. I didn't do any club. I didn't live in dorms. So I really struggled my first year because I didn't know how to make friends. That wasn't something I was used to having to do. And it wasn't until Spanish class that I met Brittany, my second year, I believe it was, and that, I really learned like, oh, the smaller classes work better for making friends. Big stadium classes are great. I learned perfectly fine there, but I didn't make friends there because it's too many people. The smaller classes were easier for me to make friends. I got more involved. I started joining clubs, doing things like that. But then even after I graduated college and we went to Arkansas, I really struggled there because we were in such a small town. Where I worked was 30 minutes away from where I lived, and it was literally an oil field company where the only other woman in that building was mom. Like, mom and I were the two women, and everyone else was men. Like, there was nowhere for me to really make friends, and it wasn't until I lived there over a year that I really started making friends. And now I have lifelong friends that I love and who are like family. But, some people really don't understand how hard it is for some people to make friends. As much as I am a social person, if you're not given the right situations to make friends, I mean, it's damn near impossible.
I mean, especially with what's going on with the pandemic, it has become more difficult to make friends just in general. And then now we have access to social media. And so a lot of people that aren't as outgoing are going deeper into their shell and not willing to come out and meet people in person, because why would they need to when they're content with just meeting people on social media? I mean, I really struggled at first when I moved to New York. Again, I mean, we talked about this a little bit in one of the other episodes, but with me not being on a soccer team, with me not being in university, and with me not knowing anyone here, it was very, very difficult. And models are not friendly at all. At the end of the day, when you're a model, especially in New York City, everyone is competition. So whenever you go into a casting or you're going in for a photo shoot, it's very rare that you find your kind of people that want to have friendships outside of the industry. So I think it's just, I don't know, I feel like people don't talk about how hard it is to make friends as an adult. It's definitely not talked about enough.
Well, I think once you become a mom, sometimes it's easier because, you can do like story times and play groups and things like that. One of my good friends right now, her husband owns the karate studio that Holden goes to, and I just met her sitting in the same karate waiting room every day. We started talking, and also as an adult, when you work, a lot of times you find commonalities in your coworkers. But if you're not working, like for me during the pandemic with Rowan, I really struggled. When Holden was born, we did story times, we did play dates, we did all these things so that I could get out of the house and be doing something because I stayed home with him. But then when Rowan was born, he was born in January, the pandemic hit the first week of March. I mean, I hadn't taken him out of the house yet, really, because he was so little. So then by the time I could start taking him out of the house, we were locked in the house for 6 months, a year. There's no way to, I would call and Skype my friends, but that you just don't have that ability to go and do things. Thank God the pandemic is, seemingly nearing its end and we're, getting out and able to, things are opening and things like that. But it's hard when you don't have the ability to find commonality with people. And my friend did tell me that there's like a Bumble app for friends, but it's also really hard to make a true friend on technology. You don't know a person's cues. You don't know when they're joking or when they're laughing or, if they're mad at you. Words on a screen are really hard to connect with in a real way.
For sure. And I think that like the biggest thing with social media, and I have a lot of influencer friends. I'm in a lot of like Facebook groups, for example, that are like influencers in New York where, we do meetups and you go and you shoot content with these people. But you can go and you can meet these people through social media, or you can even meet friends in your college class. But how do you turn them into lifetime friends? How do you build that connection with someone if they're not willing to have that reciprocated? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how do you go and look for lifelong friends if that other person is not looking for it and they're just looking to chat with someone?
I mean, if you're asking me because you want me to give you the key to
No, I just think that it's a like general question that I've seen a lot of people in my influencers group ask, like, because the bottom line is all of these influencers are moving to New York, they're moving to California, they're moving to Miami, and none of them have actual friends there. They're just friends with other influencers, and kind of similar to the modeling industry. The influencer community is growing so much that again, it's kind of like all competition now. Like everyone's competition because it's growing.
I think what you have to do is you just have to put yourself out there. One, you're not going to make friends if you're not trying. Two, find people that you have common interests with, because if you have no common interests, you have nothing to talk about. Then after that, you maybe get their phone number and then you text them. See how the text relationship goes. Like if you send, memes or jokes and they're not really responding, well, maybe that's kind of not your cup of tea. Because let me tell you, I could send a meme to about 12 different people right now and I know all of their reactions because that's the relationships we have. But if they don't respond, if they're like, what the fuck are you sending me? Then they're probably not going to understand your sense of humor or who you are. And then it's just going to be a battle to like keep a relationship that probably isn't going to be built on much. And then you have to realize that no matter what industry you're in or what you're doing in your life, not everything is a competition. You can both be successful models. You can both be successful influencers. You can just
That's exactly right.
be yourself and be true to yourself and stop worrying about what everyone else is doing. Because if you're constantly focused on who you're better than or how to be better than, you're missing the picture. What you should be doing in life is enjoying your life, enjoying what you're doing, and doing the best that you can do. Outside of that, what does it matter? Stop measuring yourself against other people. My 100 is not going to look like your 100. It's not going to look like my neighbor's 100. People want to be like, oh, she's not the greatest mom. She didn't do this. She's probably giving her 100. Just because it doesn't look like what I would give at 100 doesn't mean she's not trying just as hard. Stop competing. Stop comparing. Just go out there, love your neighbor, be there for people, be a good friend, and the rest will do what it's supposed to do. I am so tired.
The rest will always fall into place.
Yes, I'm so tired of everyone like hating on each other, beating each other up, and like expecting everybody to be them. I can't expect me out of you. You're not me. I don't know why people expect something different out of people that they know that they're not capable of. My friends are my friends. If I wanted to be friends with me, I wouldn't need them. I have me. What do I need them for? No, I have them because they give me different perspectives. They give me a different sense of humor. They give me different insight in life. They are different people. I need them because I need different than myself. I'm stuck with myself all the time. I can't stand myself most days. I don't need me, even though Brittany is a lot like me.
I can't stand you either.
Who can't I stand today? Brooklyn. That concludes this episode of I Can't Stand Her.
So before I moved to New York, I was trying to make money and I was a background in a Hulu series. And me being the person that I am, it was in the South. I'm a Southern girl. I was talking to everyone. And that was kind of like my first taste of like, oh, holy shit. All of these actors literally don't want to talk to each other because, like, as like the background actors, all of these background actors don't want to talk to each other because everyone wants to get bumped up. And me being me, I was talking to the director, not knowing he was the director. And he was like, who are you? And I said, oh, well, I'm Madison Robichaux. Who are you? And he said, oh, well, I'm the director of this limited series. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he was like, I love your personality. Do you want to be featured in the show? And then that was kind of like, he bumped me up to featured, and then I was on set every day and so on and so forth. But I met some of my best, like my lifelong best friends through that show, all from just being more outgoing than the rest of everyone, just being myself.
Well, and my take on it is, okay, you're like, oh, everybody didn't want to get close because they wanted to be bumped up or whatever. Okay, so say I'm on set. Well, girls A, B, and C, oh, well, why don't I become friends with them? Because in my mind, if I go on and work on another movie and I have a bigger role and they're like, oh, well, do you know someone who could fit this? Oh, well, girl B, she would be great for that role. Well, you should call her. Oh, girl C, she has this look. You should call her. Why are we not building connections and relationships to help us all move up? Like, what is the point of me going to the top by myself? When I get there, I have nobody to celebrate with. Like, I want to elevate everyone in my circle. Like, when I get to the top, I want to have all my friends with me. I want to be celebrating with everyone I love, because what does it matter if I succeed and everybody else is just trudging along, miserable, in the mud, can't figure it out? Like, I want all my people to succeed, not just me. And this whole mentality of compete and leave everybody in the dust is just mind boggling to me, because that is just not who I am as a person.
Well, I always say in modeling castings, whenever I talk to the other girls, I always say, because they're like, oh, well, what are you going to do if you don't get this casting, or blah, 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 whatever. And I always say, if they don't love me for who I am, someone else will. And I 100% will always stand by that. I will never not be who I am to please an industry or to please another person.
And I don't think that you should ever be not who you are in any sense, whether it's this or relationships. My my advice to anyone on anything is be open and be honest about who you are. And that goes for, you know, life goals. And like I said, it goes for relationships. When people ask me like, oh, you and Raymond have been together 15 years. This year we'll be married 10 years. Maybe it's 16 years. Oh, I'm getting old. But anyway, it's like, but if you want that kind of relationship, be open and honest. Don't come in with some sort of other mindset or personality and then think like, oh, I can change them or this or that. Like, just be who you are and the rest will it'll fall into place. I struggle to understand people who are like, oh, well, if I do this, then they'll like me and then, we can talk about it. No, 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 no. Don't censor yourself because you think that's going to get your foot in the door. Your foot's going to get put in the door because people like who you are. It doesn't matter if it's an employer, a friend, or a spouse. People gravitate to who you are as a person. And that's the best advice I can give to anyone on any level for anything. Be who you are, and the right people, places, situations will gravitate to you.
And I was reading something the other day that was like, whenever I was trying to figure out my unpopular opinions, like what I agreed with and what I didn't agree with. And on this other podcast group that I'm a part of, someone was like, I don't think that your spouse should be your best friend. I don't agree with that. I think that it is important to have just a basis of a friendship with your spouse. Maybe they don't have to be your best friend, and if they are, that's great. But I don't think that you shouldn't have a friendship with your spouse. I think that friendship should 100% come first, no matter what.
First of all, I say to that, let's get out of the mindset that you only get one best friend. Because I also hate that. Like, growing up, people would be like, well, I'm her best friend, so you can't be her best friend. Like, there's only like one allowed. No. I have a multitude of best friends, and they're all best friends for different reasons. And one of them is Raymond, because your spouse and you should be able to connect on different levels. And one of them is friendship, because first and foremost, that is the solid foundation. When your kids are gone, when no one else is around, you should be able to sit there in silence with that person. You should be able to sit there and watch a movie with that person. You should be able to sit there and go to a basketball game or whatever with that person. You should be able to have a friendship based on just that, just a friendship. And then the reason they're your spouse is because you have love for them and you're passionate about them and you want to have kids with them and you want to co-parent with them and you want to do all these extra things with them. That's why they're your spouse. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a solid foundation of a relationship built, what is there? Also, I think that you should have friends who are your best friends, but your best friends can't really come before your spouse. But I will say Raymond and I have argued about this before, because he's like, well, what did so-and-so say? And I'm like, well, it's kind of not your business. And he's like, well, if you know, it's my business. And I'm like, but it doesn't affect you. So I've got to kind of keep my best friend's secret because it was told to me in confidence. If I thought it affected you in any way or it affected me or our children, I would tell you. But until that knowledge has some sort of bearing on our life, I'm not going to tell you someone else's secret. And he's like, I'm supposed to know everything you know. And I'm like, that's kind of where we have to draw the line.
That's because Raymond is a very nosy person. Raymond is just very nosy. I love him, but that's just the bottom line. And when he wants to know something, he's going to pick and he's going to pick until you say it. Now, on the other hand, Dylan is my best friend without a doubt. I mean, so many people have come up to us and been like, we love hanging out with both of you, not because of like you guys are a couple, but because you don't ever make us feel like a third wheel. Because when we're with other people, we really are just enjoying the company as a whole. We're laughing because he is my best friend. Regardless of our relationship or what happens behind closed doors, he is the person that I run to no matter what. With that, my friends know that anything you tell me will probably be told to Dylan. That's just the bottom line. But Dylan is not a gossiper. Like, I tell Dylan because he'll be like, oh, how was your day? And then I'll just go through like what was going on with my day. And then if I talk to Christina, for example, he'll be like, oh, well, what happened with Christina? What did she have to say? What's going on in her life? And then I'll tell Dylan, and then we just kind of talk about it. Not so much like, oh, I'm spilling her secrets, but anything that's told to me is more than likely going to be told in some sort of form with Dylan because I know it'll never leave the room.
Well, and I agree on most of what you said because Raymond is nosy. He likes to know everything. He can't handle if someone knows one thing that he doesn't know. And Raymond is not, like you said, like Dylan, he's not a gossiper. Like, I don't think Raymond's going to go run and tell anybody because he is a good secret keeper. Raymond's problem is that, like, say you're like, oh, I don't know, like, oh, I got a rash. Whatever. Okay. So I tell Raymond, oh yeah, I talked to Maddie today. She's got a rash, but she's embarrassed. Like she doesn't want to tell nobody. Well, then when I get on the phone with you, he's gonna be like, hey Maddie, how you doing? Heard about that rash. Like, bro, you just sold me
Exactly.
out.
That's what I was trying to say.
Like,
Right.
you had just sold me out, man. Shut up. I told you that. You weren't supposed to tell nobody. What is happening?
And then he wants to know about the rash. Well, did you try this? Well, did you do this? Well, what do you think it came from? Blah, blah, blah. And it's because ultimately he cares. That's why he's asking all of these questions.
He's a problem solver.
But still, it wasn't your secret to tell.
Correct. He's a problem solver and he really just wants to help you solve whatever it is your problem is, which is like great and wonderful. And like, I appreciate that energy, but I need you to simmer down because you can't do that. Like, what's happening? You just told on me, man. Now I look like the asshole who runs and tells secrets.
Alrighty, friends, this concludes today's Sister Buzz episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to connect with us, you can follow us on our social media at the Sister Buzz. And if you'd like to send in topic suggestions, make sure to DM us on our Instagram.
And if you guys are loving our podcast as much as we do, make sure to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platforms. And remember to tune in every Thursday for a brand new episode. So until next time, this has been your Sister Buzz with Brooklyn and Madison. Bye, guys.